These are Type 99 Arisakas. The top one was made by Kokura Arsenal in Tokyo, and the bottom one with the sling was made by Nagoya Arsenal. Both of them were made between 1940 and 1944. Unfortunately, exact dates are hard to determine, as most records were destroyed by the Imperial Japanese Army and the government of Japan while they were preparing for an invasion by the United States and British forces, which they eventually surrendered to. The Type 99 was designed in 1939 by the Japanese Army to replace the older Type 38 rifle, although it would not completely replace it, as there were not sufficient numbers built when Japan declared war on the United States in 1941. While the Type 38 rifle was based on the Mauser 98, the Type 99 was based on the Type 38. So the Type 99 has a great deal of Mauser bits to it, but for the most part, it's an indigenous design. Some of these design features are a cock-on closed bolt, which I'll show you right here, which means you're gonna push this. You gotta push the follower down because the follower stops it, so that it does not. So that you know when you're out of rounds. It's a cock-on close, which means I'm gonna push this forward, and now the rifle is cocked, versus a cock-on open, in which case it would cock your striker when you turn the bolt up. Where was I? A lot of Mausers did have cock-on closed designs before the 98, which was the most common design at this time. But the Japanese Army determined that they could actually work a bolt a lot faster with the cock-on close. A push button, a push and turn safety is on it, which a lot of people were kind of thrown off by, but it works like this. You're going to push in with your palm, you're going to turn your palm, there you go, and that's safe. That won't fire, and then you're going to push and turn, but you should never dry fire a gun, especially a gun this old. So we're going to pull that open. Anyway, also has ladder style aperture sights like this. Kind of similar in concept to the M1 Grand sights. I don't know if you can get you to see that. There's your aperture. There's your notch. However, these originally came with little aircraft wings, and that would allow you to trail a slow-moving aircraft. However, by the 1940s, aircraft were way too fast and flew way too high for these to really be useful. So it has your ladder sights here, and then it has a fixed battle sight that is automatically sighted in at, I think, 75 meters. I'm actually not entirely sure of that. They have chrome-lined barrels, which makes the barrel very strong, very resistant to wear. And, excuse me. And they fired the newer, at the time, 7.7 Japanese cartridge versus the 6.5 cartridge that the Type 38 was using. They found in Manchuria that older Type 38 round just did not have the knockdown power they needed, but they had a machine gun, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Type 94, that was using this newer 7.7 round, and so they adapted it to be used in their rifles. Originally, they also had a sliding bolt cover, which you can still, right here, you can still see the grooves for. It would have fit right here and fit over your bolt handle, and that would keep dirt and everything out of it. But the problem is they rattled a lot, and so if you were trying to sneak up on somebody or just really be quiet, your rifle really did not make that possible. So most soldiers threw them away, and they're almost impossible to find originals now. They also originally had a monopod, which would have fit right here in this little block. That was incredibly flimsy, and most of those didn't survive, just as the little anti-aircraft wings didn't survive because they were just, on a battle rifle, they're just too flimsy. They're just little bits of metal that stick out, and they snapped off real easy. So it's not common to find rifles that still have them. They also, unfortunately, they're really good, but I just don't own one. They had a very long, like an oddly long bayonet. Those bayonets were probably about yay long. But they were that way so that they could double as machetes, because most of the fighting the Japanese did was jungle warfare. In fact, back in the 30s and 40s, they were known for it. No one knew how to fight in the jungle like the Japanese did. The Type 99 also had the strongest of any military bolt action, the strongest action of any military bolt action of the period, and it could be used for months with only very basic maintenance. Actually, years, because in a testament to how strong these rifles are, you have the story of Second Lieutenant Hiru Onoda, who was a holdout on the island of Lubang in the Philippines. He held out there from 1945 until a student from Japan found him and actually got the Japanese government to come down there and officially relieve him of his command, which Onoda was very, very thankful for. But he kept his Arisaka in absolute perfect working order. It needed no replacement parts. It wasn't worn out. He had used it on a regular basis. In fact, he had gotten, over that 29 years, had gotten in several firefights with the local police, as he thought this war was still going on. And had actually shot 30 people with it. Anyway, after the war, the Type 99 rifles were used throughout Asia to augment militaries as they were acquiring more modern rifles. They were commonly changed into different calibers or different cartridges as 7.7 Japanese started to become very scarce. No one else was making it. No one else had the tooling to make it. And U.S. and British forces actually destroyed Japan's machinery they were using for making bullets. And so many of them got converted into either 8mm Mauser or 30-06, which the actions could absolutely take. And these continued to serve well into the 1950s. And yeah, that's about it. They're very simple rifles. Very simple, very strong, and they last and are completely shootable to this day. That's it.